If you like what we're doing here, make sure to give us a positive rating
Ah!
on iTunes, Google,
It's not that funny, is it, huh? When someone interrupts you, is it?
Podcast, or wherever you listen to this show. Also, make sure to check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/thatoneandrew, where full recordings of this podcast are posted, along with a plethora of other videos. We now also have our very own Patreon. So if you'd like to support us monetarily, head over to patreon.com/thatoneandrew. That is patreon.com/thatoneandrew. Check it out today, and thank you for listening. Now, on to the show.
You pronounce plethora as plethora.
I've heard it. I've heard it pronounced that before. I don't know, Andrew.
How'd you?
He gave you a run for your money on opening paragraph narration. But pretty good.
Yeah?
It wasn't bad.
Did
I'd
I
give it
do
a good 8.5, 9 out of 10. Yeah.
Did I do good, Daddy?
Okay,
All right, well, now
you're
you lost
fired.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're fired. Well, greetings all. Welcome to the Gaming Block Podcast, the #1 podcast for all the pertinent video game news spanning across all the platforms, including Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and more. I am your host, Andrew Arana, and today, as always, I'm joined by the bad boys of video games, Jacob Ward and Roger Bennon. In today's show, we will discuss Toshihiro Nagasaki taking up a new position in Sega, AMD confirming that console shortages will continue throughout the year, Konami making moves within the company, and more. But before we get into all that, tradition dictates that I ask the bad boys how they've been this previous week. Guys, I have this ringing in my left ear right now, and it's kind of like, are aliens invading? What's happening?
Probably.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Sure, it's not just like
Very constant.
changing pitch or anything. What is it? What is it called? The ring in your ears?
The pitch in your ears?
No. Like that medical condition when you're constantly having ringing in your ears.
Oh, that's a real thing? That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have that sometimes.
There's a name for it. I don't remember what it's called though.
Well, I don't
Ringing
think
ear?
it sounds like he's saying that it happens all the time, not sometimes.
Oh.
Well, there's some people that have it happen all the time. And,
Hmm.
sometimes in your ears just pop. It happens. When I went to Colorado, it happened all the time. So the changing altitude.
Maybe the Earth just like, you know how there's always magma under us, but sometimes the crust slips. Maybe the crust just slipped right now. We went a mile down, and that's why I'm getting a little ring in my ears.
Maybe the way to Jake's bullshit, just like single-handedly, just
that would be.
It's pretty heavy.
That is the most probable solution to this predicament that we are involved in right now. So how was you guys' week? Did you guys do anything fun?
Not really. Just kind of worked a lot.
Same.
Wow, we live such exciting lives.
I know, right?
Do you think people listen to this like, oh, he's asking about their weeks again? Let me guess. Work and sleep. It's like, yeah, work and sleep.
Dreading today.
I mean, I guess we did, Jake. Our household did get a new member today.
I know.
We got a puppy.
I barely got to meet her.
Yeah, we got her around noon today, and you were working till 7, so it's 9 o'clock right now. But she's a adorable little yip. Good old golden doodle. So
yeah. Is she a puppy or is she like a couple years old?
Puppy, 8 weeks old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
that's good though.
Little borfer.
A little what?
Little borf.
I don't know what that is.
Little borf.
Is that okay? Well, with that in mind, it's once again time for everyone's favorite segment, the Gaming Riddle. Jake, hit us with the theme song.
Woo!
All right, so the Gaming Riddle for this week goes as follows. Crossover. Supposed to say released March 28th, 2002. All right, the tradition dictates you each get 3 guesses. Who got it right last time? What was it last
I
time?
think Roger got it.
Yeah, it was.
I
It was
think
Golden
Roger got
Sun.
it too.
Golden Sun.
Yeah. So Jake, you get the first guess this time, or first question.
I mean, so I get 3 questions or 3 guesses, right?
Either or, yeah.
Okay. There's only so many crossover games that around that time. I don't think it was
Yeah.
Smash Brothers.
Mm.
Because that was 2001.
Oh shit.
What?
Nothing.
Maybe it was Smash Brothers. Was it? Maybe
Is
it was
it Melee?
2000.
Is that your question?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Roger, your turn.
I'll say because maybe it was like different between America and Japan. So
They do that sometimes.
just a crossover in 2002. That's what we have to go off of.
Yep.
Okay. It wasn't Melee.
Yeah, that was 2001. I just wanted to be cheeky about it.
Is it a crossover of? Is it a yes or no question that I have to ask?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just a crossover of video game characters?
No.
Yeah.
Jake.
Hmm.
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 Hmm. Is it Kingdom Hearts?
It is, yes. Released March 28th, 2002 for the PlayStation 2. Kingdom Hearts was released. Famous
what I was thinking
crossover
of?
of Disney and Final Fantasy.
Thank
You know
you,
what I was thinking
Roger, for
Yeah,
narrowing that
I
down so
know.
much for me.
I pretty much gave that to you, but you know what I was thinking of?
What?
Nicktoons Unite. That was what was in my head.
Oh.
So I think that came out around the
Yes.
same time.
I think it did too. I forgot about that game.
I don't know why.
Cartoon Network one that came out too.
Yeah, but that came out a lot later.
Yeah. After it wasn't cool anymore.
Yeah. I had it too. Played as Danny Phantom and
Well, I didn't ask that.
He's a
Donkey
phantom.
Kong.
Danny Phantom.
This show gets bad later.
Yeah. All right. Well, good job on that. As always. Jake, you got that right, correct?
Woo, yeah, I think so.
All
Unless
right.
Roger
Well,
wants to steal it out from underneath me.
I apparently handed it to him.
Again?
Whatever.
actually, the technical term is Kingdom Hearts trademark. So, right? No, I'm kidding.
I
Okay,
didn't know if
well,
it was
we
a Kingdom
can-
Hearts 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure it was the first one because it was 2002.
It was 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Second one came out in like 2005,
Or it
and then
could have
third
been
one came out in
Really?
Kingdom
They
Hearts
2000.
Stream Drop Dissonance. Kingdom Hearts
made a lot of
2 and
stuff
1 in 285
between 2002
days.
and now.
Yeah, they've made a ton.
Kingdom Hearts and
well,
the Game Boy Advance one.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to what we've been playing. Now, I have here on the docket, guys, that I've been playing some more Yakuza. I
Donkey
beat
Kong?
Donut County. Not that great of a game. It's fine. It's a mobile game that I played, and I was like, it's, the gimmick wears real quick. And then I've been playing a little bit of the new Xbox because since we last met, Roger, I got a Series X.
Jealous.
So,
That's cool. How do you like it?
yeah. I haven't really played much of it. I played a round of Apex because I'm doing the thing where, you get a new console, like, okay, I gotta download all the Game Pass games, and
Right.
that was the first
That
one to
way you
download.
can.
So I
That way you
played
can compare it to something to see how it runs.
it. Yeah, and
Load
it
up Resident Evil
ran
4.
good, and yeah, it looks like a PS2 game. But so far, like, the menus are snappy. The controller is more responsive than the Xbox. I was using a 1S. So the controller is more responsive. It just feels like it runs a lot
That's good.
better.
I feel like my
I'm excited.
flags a lot. So
The home button?
See? Yeah.
just the menu, just all of it in general. I feel like it. Like,
Yeah.
Did you update your controllers, Roger?
I don't know. It should be.
But yeah, I don't. That's like the one console that matters to update your controllers is the Xbox.
That makes me
Yeah.
that's a statement.
But
I know, right?
I'm gonna
Update your
hold out.
controllers.
I'm gonna try to hold out getting an Xbox until Halo comes out.
How'd you get it?
All access.
Through All Access through Walmart.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Just kind of got lucky, honestly.
Oh, no, that was up there for a decent amount of time.
No, I didn't see it up there for a decent amount of time. I don't know. I was
like
dashing
15.
one more.
It was like 15 minutes later. I popped it open and I was like, oh, I could do this. Oh well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I did it right away because I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool.
I thought about it, but it's just like I was saying, I think I'm just gonna wait until Halo comes out because one, I'm pretty sure they're gonna release a special edition for Halo.
True. You're gonna get that,
which would be cool to have, huh?
So you're gonna get the Halo edition Xbox?
Oh, I guess I'll try because who knows what the state of Xboxes will be then, and it'll
I
probably be
had
hard to
the-
get.
I had the Halo 5 special edition Xbox One.
That one was cool. I really wanted the Halo 4
annoying.
360.
It was annoying as fuck. Every time you turned it
Yeah.
on, just
It made sound effects.
Yeah, it was awful.
Oh my god! I think the Halo 4 one made sound effects too.
That was like the
but they
first
weren't
time
as bad.
where they when they were like doing pre-orders and special editions where the game was just the code. That was like the first time they actually were going to that. I didn't like that.
I always wanted the Halo Reach 360. I always thought that one was cool. The all silver one.
Yeah.
And they had the controller that matched it. I only got the Halo 4 controller, the see-through one. That was the main reason I wanted the 4 one because it was all see-through.
Some say it was the best part of Halo 4.
Yeah.
Was the controller.
I will say, I don't get why they stopped making see-through consoles. Those are the coolest ones.
Probably expensive.
Dude,
also, I guess
Series X.
I didn't add this, but I did start playing the original Halo on PC.
Yeah.
And
hey, good for you.
Playing co-op with Jake, and boy, is that game old.
I still think it's pretty good, but
we gotta finish it.
It's
Andrew.
not bad.
We can't stop.
It came out in 2001.
Yeah.
It's not bad for 2001.
Compare it to the first Killzone. It's I think a lot more competent.
To Medal of Honor back then.
Yeah.
Compared to any first-person shooter
Call of
prior
Duty?
to 2008.
It set the standard.
Call of Duty's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty's not bad because it was a PC game.
It's just because I think Halo did it better. I think Halo was the first one to make like a really competent control scheme for console.
Well, yeah, because Call of Duty didn't come out on console.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Medal of Honor was console.
Because like if
Medal
you look
of Honor was rough.
If you look at how Halo did it, it's like, oh, that's how everyone does it too.
I know.
Well, yeah, because when Medal of Honor was releasing, they didn't use a DualShock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds so like duh nowadays, right? Like, oh, one for moving, one for looking. But yeah.
Listen, GoldenEye did it with the C buttons.
Ugh, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye was awful. I stand by that. GoldenEye is terrible.
It's funny going back to GoldenEye and using the controls, and it's just like, how on earth did this function?
Dude, like I'll say, like I got the FightPad Pro for Nintendo 64. It makes playing those games so much better because you're holding like a normal ass controller.
I just remap an Xbox controller. That's all I do.
It's not a bad idea. I think honestly, GoldenEye is so much better on PC.
I just don't think I think it's an overrated game, but I think honestly, I mean, I've always been a proponent of this, that I think a lot of older games are overrated. Like
you gotta
Ocarina of Time.
Mindset of back then.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like, well, yeah. So I understand when you put your mindset back to like, oh, it's 1996. I just got Ocarina of Time. It's like, yeah, it is a great game for 1996.
It's the best game ever.
But when people say things like that, like Ocarina of Time is the best game ever, it's like just because it was amazing when it released doesn't mean it's the best game ever, because it's undeniable that bad games today are still better than like any N64 game just because of the limitations of the hardware and the controller.
Yeah, the hardware is one thing, but like with Ocarina of Time, like I still think it's a pretty enjoyable game to play today. I think that kind of like
I agree. I think so too.
Honestly, I think the 3DS version is
a thing.
The way to play it
stands stands to how good it is. That it's still enjoyable to play today. You know.
I mean, that's why like when Nintendo
but
made the 3DS version, like they didn't change anything about it. They basically did like a Master Chief Collection where they just slapped new textures on the old game.
They changed some things.
Yeah, they did some quality of life changes.
Yeah,
but as far as like the mechanics of how the game worked and looked, like it's just like, looks nicer. It's like Wind Waker HD. It just looks nicer.
It wasn't like Majora's Mask, which Majora's Mask they did change quite a few things in that game. I remember like some of the swimming stuff they changed.
Yeah, they ruined Zora swimming.
They changed. They also changed the whole Bomber's Notebook. So,
Like, there's a lot of things I
mind it,
liked
though.
in it. It's just, yeah, like, there's no reason why the banker is inside the clock tower. But it's like, whatever. It just makes the game easier, I guess, but not really, unless you're swimming as a
Not
Zora
really.
and they have to use magic to speed up instead of just being able to speed up.
Yeah,
Didn't they
it's
change
just little things.
the whole how you get the Fierce Deity mask at the end when you're on the moon?
I don't
Like this little segments you have to
know.
do. I think
I
they made
don't
them like
know
longer.
because I don't think I actually 100%ed it on
It's like you
3DS. I
just
know
had to
I
get all the
have
masks.
on.
Like I don't even remember doing anything besides getting all the masks.
Like you have to get all the masks,
Well,
then you do like the little challenges for the boss masks
yeah.
kids.
So when you get all the masks, and then when you go to the tree at the end of the game where you fight Majora's Mask, there's 4 kids running around, and you turn in your masks
Yeah,
to
I
the
remember that.
kids, and they'll send you to like these little mini. They're basically mini parts of the dungeons from the
Oh,
game,
for some reason I don't remember that
and
at all. I only remember that tree and then just having the deity mask.
It's not a fun part,
yeah, yeah, it's not great. So
especially the 3DS. Like I think one thing they did is they made the Zora section longer. Like it's a lot more windier, and there's a lot more
mhm.
like dead ends because they added extra loot you could get. So if you
It's
wanted
funny,
to, like there was like chests you could get that had 50 rupees in it. I'm like, why would I go back to
yeah,
Termina? Like there's
you
no
know,
reason for me to
rupees are
leave.
never a problem in that
I'm
game.
so overpowered.
It's funny how 100% it just makes the boss a joke. No,
Oh my god,
yeah.
yeah, it's so easy. And the actual boss is a really good like final boss if you
yeah, it's
don't
a
use
great
the Fierce
boss.
Deity
I
mask.
I played through it a second time without the deity mask. And I was like, oh, this is actually like pretty like good test of my abilities. But with the deity
Have
mask,
you guys
Because it asks you
I was
to like of all your skills.
ever done a 3 heart run of Zelda?
No, I don't
never.
know. It's just like the collector in me can't stand to do that.
If I'm gonna
Honestly,
do one. I'm gonna do one on Breath of the Wild.
yeah, Breath of the Wild would be
Yeah,
fun. I did on Ocarina of Time and beat it. Honestly, makes Zelda so much better because it's so much more challenging. Because
listen,
by
I already
the
suck
fourth
enough at video games.
by
I
the
don't need
fourth
any better.
dungeon, if anything hits you, you're done. Like it's insta death.
Hmm.
So it's like it makes it a lot more for me rewarding and challenging. And I think Majora's Mask would be a fun one of that too,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the end boss. And you still have fairies and stuff, so if you get hit, you could revive, but you only have so many fairies.
Mm-hmm.
Still have yet to
Um,
do a Nuzlocke run, so
You get extra bottles in the 3DS one.
it's true.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Um, Jake, you been playing anything this week?
Nah,
No, nothing. No,
no.
no
I
small indie games to report on or anything.
did I play an indie game?
I don't know.
I don't think
You
so.
usually are like, it's a little game that no
I
one's
want to
ever
buy
heard of.
Cyber Shadow, but I didn't. Yet. I'm still waiting on my copy of Scott Pilgrim to come in from Limited Run. I played a bit of more of Ghost of Tsushima. I'm still just kind of making my way
You
through the map.
also you're missing a big game that you played that I saw you play last night and you love.
Oh
Uh-huh.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should tell
I
Roger
started
about
playing.
that.
Uh,
Should tell Roger how you got that game. Like,
What game are we talking about?
Minecraft.
no, it was not Minecraft. You know what it is.
Minecraft.
Um,
Last week when we were doing the docket and we were doing the new releases, there's one game called ReZero, and Jake was like, "Oh my gosh,
oh
there's a
yeah,
ReZero game!"
I
And
forgot. I wanted to mention that.
he immediately bought the collector's
No,
edition, and
I
it came
knew
in.
what it was. Like I knew that it was coming. I just forgot that it was coming out, so I went to buy it. It's all right. I put a couple hours
Mhm.
into it because I wanted to talk about it on the show, and then I forgot about it.
What's it like?
What I heard, I did not hear it was all right last night. What I heard was I walked in and it's like, dude, so much talking. Like you don't get to play at all. And he was telling me how he was skipping over some scenes and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a real good game.
Visual novel.
It's a visual novel. Yeah, it's a visual novel with very minimal gameplay. It's an easy platinum though. I think it's only got 33 trophies. It's basically just like play the game.
That's
So
always
I'm
good.
probably gonna platinum it. About 2 hours in, and that's with skipping a lot of dialogue that because it's a lot of stuff like at the beginning at least that's just taking place during a part of the show I've already watched 2 times. So
Yeah, that's kind of how
I
those
know
novels are.
exactly what's happening. I know it's starting to splinter off into its own story. But at that, it's like I know what's going on, so I don't really need to read everything.
Yeah. It's kind of like with the Attack on Titan games. I would skip over this stuff too because I'm like, yeah, I get it. I've seen the show. Like, I don't
Except
need
in
to
this game,
hear all.
you keep doing that for an hour, and you still don't get to the game.
It's awful. I
Forgot about the
hate.
Attack on Titan
I don't know
games.
about you guys. I
Mhm.
hate visual novels. I hate them.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. I usually I've tried a few, but then I usually just end up skipping through the whole game.
Like, I need some form
Yeah.
of interactive. The only
See,
visual novel I like is Doki Doki.
That's
the
the only
only
one
Honestly,
I've
good
played.
visual novel is the Sakura games because you get rewarded for playing those.
I've heard the Fate visual novels are pretty good. What all those animes are based
Mhm.
off of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have two. I don't know. They were really big on Vita, and I would buy a lot of them on PlayStation Vita, and I'd beat some of them. But honestly, like so many visual novels are just poorly written. Like they're just so
Mm-hmm.
badly written. It's like
What
this
about
is
what about that recent one
painful.
that's been taking all the craze like Doki, Dragon Ropa or whatever it's called?
Oh,
Danganronpa.
That
Danganronpa.
graphic novel?
So that
The Game
is
Grumps started playing that, and everyone was like,
I
"Oh my
love. That's the thing is that's a PS Vita game, technically a PSP game.
god!" Mm-hmm.
And I love Danganronpa, but I think the difference with that is that it does have those interactive moments, and it's also more like it's not telling you a story, it's presenting you a story, and you have to uncover things in it because it's like what's that one detective
Ace Attorney?
Ace Attorney.
Like,
It's kind of
oh
like
yeah,
Ace Attorney,
I thought you were
but
gonna say
with
Professor Layton.
It's just like
no,
Pikachu.
it's sort of like Ace Attorney mixed with anime, and
Mhm.
they're all trapped in a school with the killer teddy bear.
Ace
It's
Attorney
really
is anime.
good. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But I will say, as far as ReZero, one last thing, like the gameplay itself isn't bad. It's like Valkyria Chronicles, and it's got
Awesome
some
game.
like interesting mechanics to it. So like the main character can return by death. So like if you die, you just you get to restart and re-strategize, which is neat because using your knowledge of the future rather than being game
Honestly, that's
over.
that's kind of the main mechanic of the show. So I hope they do
Mm-hmm.
something cool with that in the game.
I mean, you don't really. I mean, I don't know. Like the only time you get to really experience is during the gameplay, and you can't really directly fight with anyone because he kind of sucks.
Oh,
He can't fight worth a shit. It's all up to the ladies in his life.
he
Um,
punches people.
it's true. He does punch, and then he goes shamak, and then falls over and just passes out. Um, but it's just black magic he can do.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you. I just like it.
Um, but yeah, it's fun. The one time I got to play it, Andrew saw me play a little bit of it, and then that was basically just a tutorial the whole time. And then, by the time I get to the next segment, I'll probably forget how it works.
Yeah, the gameplay didn't look terrible. It just didn't look
It's
like
got
much
kind of a
gameplay.
Fire Emblem-ish to where like you're not set to a certain amount of squares to move across, but like you have a certain amount of distance you can cover before your turn's over. So you have a little bar underneath your guy, which is like I guess his stamina, as far as what you can explore and
Oh, so is it
do
like
during that
turn-based?
time. Huh?
Is it turn-based?
Yeah. So it's turn based.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't control your team directly. You can go up and talk to them, and uh, before the game, before the match starts, you kind of figure out what their role is going to be during that battle. And they just kind of do it, and you can talk to them and like praise them if they do good or give them an item or something. But really, if you talk to them or talk to anyone, it's your turn's over. No matter how much space time you have left to move. So you got to think about it because on that tutorial I used every turn I had because I was screwing around and I was like, oh shit, I only got 12 turns. I gotta go run.
Sprint through it. All right. Well, that sounds really fun. I hope that you actually do stick with it and play some more of it.
I'm wondering if
Roger, have you
it'll pick up more later.
been? I'm sure it will. Roger, you been playing anything? You been up to anything, or just more school and work?
Yeah, school and work. I grind COD for like an hour or something, trying to get camos or something.
Every
But
time, honestly, every time I hop on the Xbox, I see you online playing Call of
yeah,
Duty.
yeah,
And that's very
it's
seldom.
it's just kind of
Yeah.
my downtime. It's like, all right, I got a free hour. I'll just grind out a camo.
No,
Although,
I feel
so this isn't me playing a game, but I got a friend into a Dragon's Dogma, so I was like
Ooh.
talking to him.
Oh, I got
So,
Dragon's Dogma.
so he came over and I like kind of like watched him play it and stuff. And it's funny, he beat the game. I don't know if have you guys played that game?
I literally just picked it up for 360 on the big GameStop sale they were having.
Oh, you need to get
I
Dark
played it,
Version.
but
So
I think
the
I have
thing
that
about
one.
good. the thing about that game is when you get to like the dragon fight, it takes your beloved, and your beloved can be any character in the game basically, and you tend to get certain characters that you do quest lines for, or you can give an item to max out their affinity, and that will become your beloved. My friend didn't do any of that, so when he went to fight the dragon, it was the dude that just gives you quests was his beloved. Just came out of nowhere. So the dragon kidnapped just this like heavyset mustache dude, and that was his beloved they had to save. And then after you fight the dragon, you have like a little love scene, and he had his
Oh
love
my
scene
god.
with this mustache dude. And I was saying, I mean, it was just hilarious. He
Yeah,
completely
unexpected.
didn't mean to do that. He didn't even know there was a romance like component to the game. I'm like, yeah,
That's amazing.
it's kind of hidden. They don't outright tell you it, but there's this item that you can give to your beloved, or you just do certain quests for people, and his was just the person who gave him the quest.
Now you
I love
said
that though. That's awesome.
Get Dark Arisen.
Yeah,
Yes, that's the best.
the best edition to play.
Okay, that's the one I got. I didn't know it was on the Xbox One though and PS4, so I got the 360 version.
Oh, it was on sale for like $9 not too long ago.
I picked it up for like
The reason that's
$5.
the best edition for a couple reasons. First of all, the DLC is like really, really good and kind of better than the main game. But it also gives you some like starting out stuff. And one of the mechanics of the game that's really frustrating is to fast travel, you have to use a consumable item that you don't get very often. Well, in that version of the game, they just give you an unlimited version of it. So it makes fast traveling not awful.
That's
Not
nice.
a lot of running back and forth. You'll still do running back and forth, but it's just not as bad.
That's cool. I might pop that in sometime.
It's very different. It's the game I want a sequel for the most out of pretty much any game.
Hey, you're getting your near stuff, so don't be too greedy.
I'm
Yeah.
getting a remake.
We got Nier Automata and a remake.
Nier Automata was
You know how
good.
many games I would kill to get a good remake? Like so many.
Mario 64
right.
doesn't even have a good remake.
No, it's analog. Oh my god. Don't even. Nope. We're not even going to get started on that. All right. We're going to move on to our fun question of the week. Because God, I can rant about that for so long. Boys, the question is not simple this week. It is a little difficult. What's better, Mexican tacos or American tacos?
What's the difference?
Oh my gosh. What do you mean, what's the difference?
Tacos are tacos.
Tacos are not tacos. There's American tacos like Taco Bell, and then there's Mexican tacos, which are like, the tortillas that you get, and the
Like
you
corn?
know, you go to like a little corn tortilla, and they got the little like greens on top and stuff, little onion and stuff.
Chilies?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
I
better?
probably Mexican tacos then.
Yeah,
You think so?
I would say Mexican tacos. Honestly, I
I mean,
don't really care for American tacos. So
Honestly, same here. I'm not that
Mexican tacos are different.
I mean, to be fair, tacos are tacos, but I'll eat both. Mexican tacos are better.
See, I don't agree tacos are tacos because I think they're fundamentally different. Yeah, they're all like have kind of the same ingredients, but that's like saying homemade pizza is just like Pizza Hut. It's like
Meat,
no.
cheese, tortilla, vegetable.
I agree. No.
Hey, what's a taco? Meat, cheese, tortilla, vegetable. What's a burrito? Meat, cheese, tortilla, vegetable.
Tacos and burritos are basically the same. It's just a burrito is a
that's
non-messy taco. Yeah.
I mean, it can be.
Why don't they have hard-shelled burritos?
Well, those are chimichangas because those are deep fried.
When we
Oh.
like soft tacos, or we roll them into burrito, we would fry the tortilla. We would have fried tortilla burritos.
I was kind of
Those are pretty
confused as to
good.
what
They're really hot.
I was kind of confused as to what burritos were when I was younger because my mom would make tacos and then we'd roll them like burritos. So I'd be like, "Oh, it's taco night," and it's like, it's more of a burrito, but
It's burrito night. But yeah.
Tacos.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that you both don't really care about the great taco debate.
but Taco Bell.
I will come up with something better.
I'm not
I will
a
say
big taco person, so
Tex-Mex tacos are pretty good.
I should have thrown that into there because I'd probably say Tex-Mex over Tex-Mex. Best Mexican food. Yeah, I'll say it.
Those Texans know how to make Mexicans.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go into the news for the week. One of you do the news theme. I don't remember which one it is.
And it's Roger.
All right, and there's your news theme for the week.
It's
Number
Roger.
one, we have we have three main stories for this week, and then I'm doing this new thing where it's quick mentions because these are news stories that I want to talk about, but not really too much to go deep into. So we're going to start with our big news stories. And number one on the docket is Toshihiro Nagasaki, the director of the Yakuza series, takes position as creative director of Sega. Sega's chief creative officer, Toshihiro Nagasaki, has changed his role to creative director, hinting at a more hands on approach. What is part of a bigger restructure in Sega, Nagasaki has been executive director since 2015's Yakuza 0. Nagasaki is the creator of the Yakuza series, along with Daytona USA, Virtua Striker, not Fighter, Striker, Super Monkey Ball, Binary Domain, and more. So I put this on the list not only because I'm a big Yakuza fan and this is the creator of Yakuza, but this is all a part of a bigger restructuring of Sega. They're moving a lot of people around, doing a lot of like, you go here, you do this, now you guys are going to do this. Some flat out question: is this signs that they're about to be purchased by Microsoft?
I hope not.
Who knows?
I just at this point I don't know if they would sell because they have such close relationships to Nintendo and Sony.
Yeah, Microsoft does too. Well, it's Nintendo.
Yeah, I would say that Microsoft has a pretty good relationship with Sega. They did get they've gotten all the Yakuza games as of recent.
Heck, the Dreamcast
They
was
did.
made on Windows CE.
They still have Fantasy Star Online 2 exclusive for Xbox and Windows. That's a big deal.
Wait,
Like,
wasn't it
and
coming to PlayStation? Like
eventually,
eventually?
yeah, but they got that game was trying to get to the US for so long, and it's an Xbox exclusive right now. That's wild. So I don't know. There's a lot of buddy buddy over there, and maybe they're trying to do things like maybe this is hey, we're not doing so hot in sales. Yakuza didn't sell that well last year.
You think we
Um,
could see the Persona franchise move to the Xbox?
That'd be sick.
if they bought Sega and Sega owns Atlas, it would be an Xbox exclusive, which is crazy to think about, but it's
Yeah.
I doubt.
possible. I mean,
I
we've
doubt
seen,
Microsoft's gonna buy that.
You'd have to start getting some green in your collection.
yeah, I mean, crazy things like that have happened before. So
Atlas is like, no, stop.
everyone at Atlas leaves, creates a new studio. They do that in Japan a lot. So
Call it Studio P instead of P Studio.
yeah. Do you guys have any thoughts about this Sega news, or do you even care about Toshihiro Nagasaki? If you guys haven't seen any interviews with him, I highly encourage it. He is a fantastically interesting person.
I don't know too much about him, but it's interesting. It's I think it'd be good.
I think it can't be
Yeah,
worse.
I think so too.
So.
All right. Well, hey, I guess we'll just move
I
on
don't
from
have
there.
too much. I don't have too much to say about that.
All right, no problem. Okay, we'll move on to story number 2, and this one, I'm going to be honest, is a big downer. Sadly, we lost an actress from the upcoming Resident Evil Village game.
I heard about that.
I don't know how to pronounce. It sounds very French. I'm going to do my best, but Jeanette Mouse. Would you say that's probably how you pronounce her last
I
name?
think
Mouse.
Jeanette Mouse, yeah.
Jeanette Mouse passed away at age 39 last week. On Sunday,
Or
technically,
Jeanette.
after losing a battle with colon cancer. She is the voice of the witches in the new Resident Evil Village game scheduled to be released in May. Capcom released a statement on her passing saying, quote, "We here at Capcom R&D 1, which is the Division 1, are deeply saddened to hear about the passing of Jeanette Mouse, the talented actress who helped bring several different characters, including our witches, to the world in Resident Evil."
Is she
Um,
the voice of the big lady?
no, I don't. She's the witches one. That's the vampire. The big lady's a vampire.
Oh, and
Um,
I didn't know if there was a difference between the two in that game.
I guess there are. I mean, I don't know much about the game, but she was the there's like these 3 witches or something, and she's, I believe, the voice of all of them. So
Okay, well, I
yeah,
will appreciate her last work when it comes out. It really
Yeah.
sucks.
Not much to say about this, but cancer sucks.
Well, yeah.
And I was looking up her history, and she didn't. I mean, she did some smaller game roles here and there, but I think she was more of an actress, like TV and stuff.
Mhm.
So, yeah. All right. Well, story number 3. Gonna be honest, guys. It was a slow news week. Believe it or
Yeah,
not, it was a slow news
I
week.
mean, yeah, it's just not much to really add to that. As much as it
AMD
sucks.
suspects. Yeah, I know, right? It's just like sucks.
Mhm.
Story number 3. AMD suspects there will be a hardware shortage until second half of 2021. During an earnings call, AMD CEO Lisa Su said to expect some tightness through the first half of 2021 in reference to their chip supply. It was reported a few weeks back that packaging shortages in summer were a, quote, point of concern in the supply chain, end quote. PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and PC graphic cards have all been in high demand over the last 10 months, which all include some form of these AMD chips. This news also comes off record launch sales for both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X/S, showing the high demand for it.
No,
So,
wait a minute.
boys,
It's packaging that's stopping this?
no. So that was back in July.
Let's say, just throw that shit
Remember,
in the bag.
yeah, when we were getting news like the consoles might be delayed and we have any release dates and stuff.
Like,
Apparently,
I
it's
don't need a
because
box. Just hand me the console. I'll
there were
take it.
packaging shortages. But now it seems like it's just to keep up with supply and demand.
Mhm.
They can't keep up with this. And what do you guys? I do want to get a little deeper into this one because I think this is an interesting tale. Because a lot of people are getting mad at both Microsoft and Sony for not supplying enough consoles. But as I mentioned there at the end, both consoles have had the most success that either companies have ever had at a launch of their console.
I think
So,
one, it's like they're doing the best they can, and also like it's like with the GameStop stuff. Like, who could have predicted that so many people were going to go out and buy one? Like, I knew it was going to be big, but like, there's no way they could have even, I think, possibly prepared for this much demand.
Well, and
yeah,
there's a
do you
lot of
think?
other things that led to that demand being so high in the first place that they couldn't have prepared for. I don't know. And video games are just kind of getting more and more popular as the years go by in general. So
You can buy
they're
Switch
Definitely.
less
now.
they're less video games and more just like home consoles now doing stuff.
Entertainment
Like
centers, yeah.
yeah, like I
Like
know
an
people that own an Xbox
or
One
TV.
and never play games on it.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about, but there are people like that, which is kind of the Xbox One's original dream was to be the all-in-one device. So there are people that are like that. I think it is yeah, I think it is games are getting more popular. And then of course also the pandemic's happening. And not that the pandemic is slowing down production, because I think that's obvious that's not true since they've like have record sales. You can't have record sales if you don't make record amount of consoles.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just so many people are even this much in like we're this far into this pandemic, this far into lockdowns and stuff, like 10 months in, but there are people that are still like, I'm at home, I don't go work, I don't do anything. I need something. I'll get the new console, you know?
The $600
So,
check ain't gonna spend itself.
exactly, right? I just got these, we're getting all these stimulus checks left and right. I need something to spend it on. So,
Well, left and once in every year.
so far, yeah, we're 1 for 1 on years. But yeah. So, you guys have any more thoughts about that? AMD saying we're going to keep experiencing this until later half of 2021?
I
I mean,
mean,
I get it.
I,
It seems like
yeah,
every computer parts place has been really short on the supply. Like, I know HP apparently has been really struggling with keeping up with parts.
I mean that's how they all
Mhm.
are. I mean, I just kind of expected it at this point.
Yeah, I
I'm not.
agree.
It's not surprising. Um,
Hey, we all got our consoles though, so
it's true.
well, that one
Well,
of them.
well,
Roger, I know
well.
you don't you were
Yeah.
never trying to get one though, right?
No, not then. No, not when they first came out.
Okay.
Honestly, Roger, you could get an Xbox on the All Access plan. I think you could afford
Well,
that.
to be honest with you, I'm not like too far away from the same boat that you are, where I kind of just want to wait until Halo comes
Uh-huh.
out. Like I really want to play Demon Souls on the new PS5. That one's been
Mhm.
on my for a while.
You know, you come up and play it on mine. It's whatever, but
Just got to throw that out again. Hey,
Yeah.
come on.
I got a
Every
PS5.
time, every episode.
I've been waiting to buy Demon Souls for you.
Oh man.
I've been waiting for you so I can buy Demon Souls.
I'm also waiting for it to be $20.
That's what he did. That's what he did last time he came over. So
Yeah, I like it was literally like right before you came over. I bought the PS3 version.
That's funny. Hey,
I
you
felt
know
like I
what,
would've
Jake? Maybe if you go buy it, maybe that's like an omen where he's like, I do need to come up here now.
I'm sure when I come over,
Roger
Andrew
will
will
come
be out of town.
Yeah,
Yeah, again.
Roger will come over within like a couple weeks, and then they'll release another remaster for it.
It's just another remaster. Like it's basically the same game, but they have a remaster 2 on it.
Remastered
The
too.
grass
Royale.
is more textured. It's wild. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do for our next topics. I'm just gonna quickly roll through all these, and then starting from the top to the bottom, whatever you guys want to talk about, just hit me with it. Because I really don't have any. There's not too much news on this, but if you guys like have a question or comments, concerns, anything like that, just hit me with it, okay? So starting with the quick mentions, we have Konami plans to restructure internal development starting on February 1st.
Maybe
Roger
they
Craig
make a
Smith
game.
Roger Craig Smith isn't the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog anymore. Returnal has been delayed from March 19th to April 30th. And then we have, of course, the GameStop stock fiasco going
Yeah,
on.
that's got to be talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about the GameStop stock?
You
Because
want
I
to do that
really,
first or last?
let's save that because that's probably going to be the biggest one, sadly.
I would say like it's cool. Hopefully, Konami will start making games again with all those great IPs they have, or sell them.
So it sounds like, from what I was reading was people thought that they're shutting down their games division, and they're like, no, we're consolidating things and we're making them internal and stuff. It's like, okay, so you're not getting rid of it, but you're basically getting rid of it,
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, this is pretty vague. Restructure internal development. Like that doesn't tell us anything.
yeah. And their last big release was Metal Gear 5. So, I mean,
Now, their last big release was Contra Corps. Thank you.
Contra Corps? Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, my God. I remember that game.
Yeah, I try not to.
Bad
I
game.
mean,
Really
honestly,
bad.
the best thing they put out in recent years was the
Collections.
Castlevania and the arcade and the Contra collections they did.
Mhm.
And those are great. Those are like much better than even Nintendo's collections that they've made.
Yeah, because they were just really well made.
They even have Kid Dracula, which is unreleased here in the States until like officially unreleased until that collection came out.
Mhm. It's really cool. Do you guys care about Roger Craig Smith not being the voice of Sonic anymore? I don't really care, but I guess it was
I,
news
I,
for someone.
I like that guy. He was a good brat.
He was a good rat.
I liked. I think his best line he ever did is there was an episode of Sonic Boom where they were all talking over a walkie-talkie, and he was like, "Tails, are you ready to catch me?" And Tails is like, "Roger," and then Knuckles is like, "Who's Roger?" And then out of character, Sonic went, "He's talking to me."
That's
And
funny.
That's hilarious.
I was like, "Oh, that's so good." But no, that Sonic Boom show is actually like pretty good.
I've seen
It's
I'll
stuff
take
from
your
there.
word for it.
Yeah, I will say like I've tried to watch it consistently. It's not. I don't know if I'd be able to sit down and just watch it like I have been The Simpsons, but there's a lot of good stuff from it. Like if there's a lot of good clips you can find of that show,
Yeah, go into
I've seen
YouTube and look up
that.
just compilations or something.
hmm which makes me like, oh man, I want to like see a whole episode written like that. And it's like, it's kind of just scene to scene.
Yeah.
When they can ad lib, it's fun.
Yeah. Okay. Returnal getting delayed. I'm sure I'm the only one that actually cares about that.
I liked how you spelled
It auto-corrected to return all. I was like, what? That's not
Yeah.
what I put.
But
I don't
that
know.
game looks cool. I like the trailer. I'm not too huge of a fan of twin stick shooters, but I'll try it out.
I do think though that this is a omen for things to come because we still don't have a date for Ratchet and Clank. We don't have a
Mhm.
date for Horizon, and both those were supposed to be the first
God of
half of
War.
2021. God of War ain't happening this year at this point.
Yeah, we never had a date for God of War.
So I think Returnal getting delayed. This pandemic is hitting the game industry more than they want to show.
Like I said, I was telling you the other night, like I think they just put all their eggs in their big games for last year to get those out, and then like now everything's that was put on the back burner is kind of catching up with them.
Delaying, yeah. And then I guess we should talk a little bit about it. The whole GameStop stock fiasco, blah blah blah.
Bro,
I'm reluctant to talk about
crazy.
this because there's so much politics
So,
and
like,
classism that goes into this topic.
Is it worth kind of explaining this topic to people?
I mean,
or?
I can explain it. Yeah. So what happened basically was there's this subreddit. I think it was Wall Street Bets.
Wall Street Bets.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, we don't like hedge funds. Right? Isn't that what they're called?
Yeah, because they were about to like basically make GameStop go under.
Yeah. So they're like, we're gonna drive the price. The stock had been around $10, $5, somewhere around that.
I think like right before they started, it was at like $20 from what I saw.
Yeah. So
last year, like $2.
And a hedge fund, how it works is they buy low, sell high, basically destroying the companies. Well, it doesn't destroy companies, but GameStop, someone that doesn't have a lot of money, it would kind of destroy their company because they'd have to pay all that money out.
It's basically them investing in their failure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like we want your stock to rise just so we can sell it. We're not actually investing in you. We're trying to invest in a quick buck. So these guys on Reddit were like, you know what? We're just going to drive the stock up by buying a shitload of it. And it worked. They bought so much. I think it capped out around $450. Like the stock skyrocketed, and it's caused this whole bubble because getting a little out of games, people started doing it for a lot of other things, and things have risen. Some things have also fallen. But GameStop was
the Dow Jones fall by 600 points.
So, I mean, this gets into a deeper like financial thing, but what a lot of people aren't realizing is when you cause bubbles like this, it causes market crashes. People don't have the foresight enough to see that because
think about like 100 years ago.
It's just like the hedge fund people that are investing now into like Nokia and things like that. They're kind of just as bad as the hedge funders because they're not investing in Nokia. They're investing for a quick buck. They want to drive up the stock so they can sell it high, which is going to make the entire market crash. Well, it's like spiting a terrorist by becoming a terrorist.
Yeah,
it's
like fighting hedge funders. But what they're doing is they're not even selling it back, right? Like they're just holding on to it and causing that price to keep going up and up.
Well, people are selling it as well. That's why prices are dropping.
But from what I understand,
also people aren't able to buy.
Yeah, well, yeah, Robinhood made it so you couldn't buy for a while. You could only sell or hold.
Which
now you can only buy one share of GameStop per day.
Which is people are more upset and making them hold it for longer and keep making.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother thing because they're owned by like the hedge fund business and stuff, and they're being like criminally investigated right now because that's not a free market. You can't do that.
Oh yeah, they had some excuse for it that was unrelated, but like like, no, this is bullshit.
I think everyone saw that CNN interview, which I'll give props for the first time ever. CNN, that was a good interview. I mean, they do lots of good interviews, but that was like in recent memory. I was like, you know what? Because he was sticking to it. He was like, but that's not, you can't do that. That's not a free market. He's like, so I really like that.
Stephen Colbert had a pretty good way of explaining everything that was going on with his show.
Yeah, and there's
baby thing.
There's also like pictures going around explaining all that. What I would like to do though, if you guys don't mind, is instead of talking about the whole market fiasco, because honestly, not too related video games aside from that it's GameStop, which honestly at this point is as irrelevant as it's ever been for video games since so much is digital.
I would tell you what's crazy is hearing a bunch of coworkers that I work with, which are like, older dudes that talk about trucks, come to work one morning just talking about GameStop and Reddit. Like that's what blew my mind.
Everyone's talking about it. It's crazy. Everyone is talking about it.
On like the front page of newspapers and stuff. It's just blowing my mind.
Dude,
I think it's good for GameStop though, and that's what I want to ask you guys is no one's really stopped to think like, what do you think GameStop thinks about all this? Like, do you think that they're going to be more successful after this, or do you think that they are going to crash and they will end up being gone
I
because of
think
this?
it's honestly, it could go either way right now.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they'll.
a little too early to tell. They're probably happy because this is it's
Well,
just taking them a little bit longer. I think it's
Well,
funny
their
that
third
GameStop is the catalyst for this.
their third biggest investor sold. Like, they sold all their shares, so that's a huge investor gone.
Yeah,
So it's like that hurts a lot when you lose that much investing power.
and I think like there's a lot of people on the Reddits that are gonna hold their stocks because they're
Oh
like
yeah, for a
legitimately
while.
wanting to, you know, be good
Like
in
I
this
said,
situation.
the Robin
But
Hood thing didn't help. It's going to make them hold
No,
it for as long as they will.
I agree with that, but I think out of like the 100% of people that are doing that, I think that's like 2% would do that. Maybe even one, honestly. Like the
I
amount of
bet
people,
more.
I don't think it's
I
gonna
don't
be.
think so. Because
I don't think
people
it's
like
gonna
money.
be as bad. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as it would have been if the hedge funds would have just gotten away with it.
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know, man.
the hedge funds. I think people really want to just stick it to the rich guy more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. And I think at the beginning, that is what it was about, and which it worked because the hedge fund virtually went out of business. They declared bankruptcy because they were like $1 billion in debt because of
Oh,
it.
dude, yeah.
So the hedge fund is gone. So it's kind of like mission accomplished already. But now I think it's turned from a goal to greed. And now people just want to, hold. You keep seeing it trends every day on Twitter, like hold the line to like for
To
Dogecoin,
the
like hold it
moon.
to $1. Yeah,
I
to the
know,
moon. It's like,
so dumb.
it's like why do you want to hold the line and things like that? It's like to make money. They want to sell at $1. That's why no one's going to keep investing in Dogecoin at $1. They're going to sell at $1 so that they can get their thousands of dollars. And it's
Oh
like
yeah,
when you have a market
Yeah.
like that, 'cause I think everything that's not GameStop, and even at this point, I think GameStop as well. I think people are looking to invest into AMC and to Nokia and to Bed Bath and Beyond and all that stuff to make money. And it's going to
yeah,
crash all these companies.
which is good because
Which
fuck
is
big business.
fantastic.
Because this is how capitalism works.
Poor AMC over here, like, we just want to watch movies.
I mean, listen, I'll
GameStop
give
is
AMC props. I love that they are like one of the few theaters that are refusing to reopen.
Yeah, which is, I think, the right move right now.
Oh yeah.
But
Unlike
yeah, so
Regal is like, I don't think they're ever going to reopen.
Yeah. To be fair, they can probably afford to not reopen for a little bit longer. Some of the smaller ones can't really afford to.
And like Nokia, it's like I think pretty sure Google owns Nokia, so like I don't think that's really going to be a problem.
Yeah.
well,
Pretty sure
That
you're
crashes.
right.
I don't think Google owns Nokia, because if
I
Google owned Nokia,
I'm
Nokia
almost,
wouldn't be a tradable
I'm almost
stock.
positive Google owns
Or
Nokia.
they may just have a majority share in it then.
They probably have a majority share, yeah, but if they own them, they would be under Google.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm
So
pretty sure a lot of the
I don't know. Google likes to have a lot of their own little pet companies. A lot of these big ones like
Alphabet
pet
is split
companies.
between like multiple stock trades.
yeah,
So
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I think
I'm pretty
it's.
sure I remember like Nokia being is that or no? Is it Motorola?
I think
No, I
right
think
now
you're
that
right.
I think there's a lot of people jumping into the stock market because of the GameStop news, which
Yeah, a
honestly
lot of
GameStop
people are
is just
jumping
kind
on
of,
that bandwagon.
and I think a lot of people don't really understand how the stock market works, and they're just looking to make $1, like a quick buck, real quick,
Mhm.
Can you
and a
imagine you
double quick
invested
buck.
in GameStop for God knows what reason? If you invest in GameStop before all this and now, yeah,
Haha!
you're gonna
Hey
have a
Roger, I have a story for you.
but
Now, I've been a Robinhood user for years. Jake can attest to
yeah.
this.
Mhm.
And what was it, Jake? Like 2 years ago, I
Yeah, it was
told
if
Jake
that.
I bought GameStop stock. I had
Oh my
like
God.
20 shares. And I
What were you
told Jake,
thinking?
like, you watched when the new consoles release, it's going to rise.
And
But
it did.
last summer, when I lost my job, times got tough. So I had to sell my stock.
Oh no.
So
I mean, I
I
understand. Times
could have.
got tough.
Yeah. So I did. There was a good like 3 hours when it was all happening where I was like, damn, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
bet.
then,
I'm so sorry.
but then it's like, that's just I've like I said, I've done the stock market now for 4 years or something.
Mhm.
I've had my fair share of damn, wish I invested in Tesla. 4 years ago, I would have definitely tripled my money by now. And so many other things. And
like in high school, if I would have put $100 into Bitcoin, like I'd be a millionaire.
yeah, it's like, I mean, that's really what the stock market is a bunch of what ifs. Because I was telling like Jake, I was like, no one could have predicted this GameStop thing would have happened. No one.
Nobody.
And the
You were
dude,
close. You were so close.
and the dude that, well, yeah, I kind of predicted it the wrong way, but yeah. And the dude that started all this, if you read about him, he dropped like 25,000 into GameStop like 2 years ago. So, and that's like, there's also kind of suspicious where he's like, yeah, let's do it to get back at hedge fund people. But it's like, dude, you bought small so long ago, and he's rich now. So it's like, so it's like, was that really your goal?
Yeah, even if it wasn't though, right? Like it's still a concept that caused other people to do it. Like it's still.
Yeah.
I think it was a good cause.
Crazy.
I think the I don't know if it's good yet because this is still very early, and if we go into a depression because of this, which is honestly, I know that's like sounds hyperbolic, but this is how.
No, I mean it's exactly what happened with the Great Depression.
So it's like, even if there is a good cause, like initially, sometimes like the bad people have to stay in power for the market to work, because if there's a depression, it's going to get a hell of a lot shittier.
Well,
like a hell of a lot shittier.
There's a lot of things put in place to not cause a Great Depression to happen again. So like I feel like we got quite a ways to go before we get to that point. Not saying that it couldn't cause some rough times for some people, but I think people are just kind of, they're just kind of sick of the same shit. I mean, not to get
I agree.
super political, but that's kind of why Trump got president in the first place.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
They're tired of the same rich shit. I won't go too far into that rabbit hole, but like,
yeah, you can't. But
this is just like another outlet for it, basically. People are just tired of the same sick.
I agree.
And them obviously controlling shit.
It's funny that you say that because, again, don't want to get too deep into it, but you already see the hit pieces of being like, oh, the people that drove up stock were white supremacists and Nazis, because it really is like that side. For whatever reason, they think that the left side is like pro big business and pro rich people, and so I was like, nah, the left side hates them too. But the journalists don't understand that. They think it's only Nazis and the far right that hate.
And that, like, in my opinion, goes into this discussion of just our culture being like having to be polar opposites in general with anything. You have to be on some sort of polar opposite of some sort of side. But that's not that's not neither here nor there.
Yeah. This is a gaming podcast, so we'll just we'll leave it at that. But I think this is something that we definitely keep our eye on. I hope, though, honestly, that GameStop makes out of this good. I hope their stock does stay relatively high. I think there's a good chance that it could settle around like the 50 range, which wouldn't be too bad. And then
I think it's kind of hilarious, all happening over GameStop. Not over GameStop, but GameStop's just the catalyst.
Like GameStop's the center, and like this, and then it's like GameStop's the center, but there's also like the ongoing PS5 and Xbox Series X like supply fiasco and stuff. So video games have really just been in mainstream media for a while now. So that's always good, I guess. Exposure.
Yeah.
Maybe people were like, hey, I'm going to go shop at GameStop now because I keep hearing about it. You never know. Interested to see their sales.
I just have to kind of restructure, though, if they want to still stay relevant.
Which they have, honestly. Because if you walk into a GameStop, they are like, they've really embraced the whole like collectibles and things like that, which I think is a smart move.
I think they have to, yeah, because I haven't been to GameStop in a minute, so.
There's barely any used games anymore. They're all behind the counter now.
Yeah, it's crazy. When you walk in there, most of it is like not games, and they have all the games hidden in drawers behind the counter. You have to go up and ask them for games. Like that's wild.
You're selling the idea to me.
Yeah. I mean, I go there a lot, honestly, like, because we're pro members, so we get the $5 coupon, and that's enough to drive me in there. And like, sometimes I'm like, what, I will get the $10 game, so that's $5 they just made.
I mean, it was funny with Joker. I had like, I returned a game, and then I had the $5 coupon, so I got the Joker amiibo for like $2 when that first came out. So I was like, all right, I'll take it.
I still need to get the Solaire amiibo for Dark Souls.
Oh my god, I love my Solaire amiibo. I am never gonna sell him. He's worth like $120 now.
I know. I could never find one. It was the only amiibo I wanted.
They sold out like immediately.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. I'm aware.
if it
The
wasn't,
only one
like, I
wanted.
honestly would give you mine if it wasn't so hard to get another one.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on from the news of the week. I'm sure we will definitely revisit some of those stories next week. But it's time to get into the big releases of this week. Now, Roger, you missed a pretty light week last week, so I made sure to get some fat definitions into here, some fat descriptions. And honestly, there's some... I think we had Hitman last week. There's some good games coming out next week, so... I'm interested to see what you guys think. But tradition dictates that Jake starts, I think. I don't remember tradition anymore. So I know that was a door opening, but it sounded like a kazoo. It sounded like he's like, Jake starts.
Actually, my chair was what it was.
It was a what?
It was my chair swiveling is what it was.
Oh. I thought it was a door opening.
No, it was just me moving my chair.
All right, Jake. Start us off with the first game.
All right, the first game coming out this week is Werewolf the Apocalypse for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, and PC. A unique experience full of savage combat and mystical adventures, inspired by the famous role-playing game. You are Kahal, a powerful Garo who chose to go into exile after losing control of his destructive rage. You can transform into a wolf and a Krynos, a huge ferocious beast. You must master the three forms and powers of human, wolf, and Krynos to punish those who defile Gaia, Mother Earth. But your worst enemy is yourself. If you don't contain your rage, it can destroy you once again.
Again? What?
That's crazy.
That's wild, man.
Pretty dramatic.
Yeah. Have you heard the famous role-playing game? I've never heard of it.
No.
It says it's famous. Well, obviously not. We've never heard of it.
Yep, that means it's not real.
Yeah. All right, Roger. You get the good game next. Yeah, that's next.
Christ. White.
You know how to say that?
No.
Nope.
Yes.
White.
Yeast.
9. Monstrum Nox. Now for the Switch, PS4, and PC. Renowned adventurer Adel the Red Kristen and his companion Dogi arrive at Alda, a city annexed by the Roman Empire, only for Adel to be detained before setting foot inside. While imprisoned, he meets a mysterious woman named Aprilis, who turns him into a monstrum, a being with supernatural gifts and the power to exorcise monsters. Now Adel must ally with his fellow monstrum to fend off the fearsome threats emerging from a shadowy dimension called the Grimwald Nox, as well as unravel the mysteries of the monstrum curse and the truth behind the unrest of Badu. I don't know if I pronounced any of that correctly.
Would you believe me if I told you this was an anime game?
I would. Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy because the first ones were on Super Nintendo or Genesis, and they were an anime game.
This is like a Dragon Quest old game, Final Fantasy old.
Stuff on the old Nintendo. This next one I've seen on.
Really?
There's one before.
I do want to point out that with Ys, I played 8 on Vita, and there was Origins on Vita. Pretty good games, so I got my eye on 9.
I got Ys 1 and 2. It was a bundle that was out that came out on the Super Nintendo or Genesis. I can't remember which one, but I got the Wii Virtual Console version of that before they shut that down.
I've never even heard of these.
Not bad games. You should. If you they're JRPGs, so if you're into that type of thing, they're pretty good.
I have moods.
I feel
it's
that.
very much. I know Ys 1 and 2 is very much like Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy style, of those that breed
JRPG type. Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, you talk about older games being overrated. How do you feel about Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger, so here's the thing. I think older games are pretty overrated. But I think when it comes to what do we call them? Pixel type games, Chrono Trigger, older Final Fantasies, to an extent, Mega Man and things like that. I think that medium was perfected in the 90s, so I think Chrono Trigger is like still to this day, it's a game that can release today, and it's like, this is a 10 out of 10 amazing game.
Okay.
Same with like Final Fantasy 6 and a lot of those older 16-bit type games, 32-bit type
Super
games.
Metroid, Legend of
Yes.
Zelda.
I need to replay Chrono Trigger because I tried to play it when I was like younger. I don't even know how old I was, maybe like 16, and I played through a decent amount of it, and I just didn't get it. Couldn't get into it.
Don't get the PC version. It's not great.
Don't play the what?
No, get the
PC version.
Get the PC
mobile version. It's not too bad.
Don't get the PC version.
Yeah, no.
The Steam edition is not good.
Yeah, that's kind of my whole thing about like older games. Is like a lot of the time it's 3D games or like first-person shooters. It's like I cannot look at GoldenEye and say that is a great game when I know that every FPS, like, you cannot tell me GoldenEye is as good as Doom Eternal. You can't.
No, I mean, the thing is with GoldenEye, it was like the best first-person shooter at the time because
at the time, yeah, but it was just starting out.
Like, did you know you could play that game with 2 and 64 controllers to have twin stick controls?
Boom! There you go. I didn't.
So you can have 2 analog sticks if you do that.
But that's kind of my whole thing. So I think that pixel JRPG was perfected in the 90s. And honestly, I think 3D RPGs are, I don't want to say objectively worse, but I think there's a lot more garbage in the 3D world than there is in the 2D world.
I don't think they quite ever figured out how to translate that medium very well. It's like Sonic. Sonic worked well in 2D.
Persona 5. I think Persona 5 did it pretty well.
I mean, that's very different. I think we can't have everything.
I think that's why. I think that's why it works so well, is because it is so different than
it's
the
like
rest of the 3D RPGs.
When Zelda went from 2D to 3D, they kind of like did the same thing. Like Ocarina of Time is objectively almost the same exact game as Link to the Past, but in 3D.
Yeah.
But that's really a safe way to keep it. And with JRPGs, I think like Final Fantasy did a good job transitioning to 3D. But there's just some that
Final Fantasy. It's weird though, because like it
is slow transition. It was like the same as it was, but now it's, quote unquote 3D, and then they went like full on later.
And the problem with that though is that I would say the new Final Fantasy games are more like action RPGs than they are traditional JRPGs. So it's just the medium has to evolve to it.
Final Fantasy 7 remake was
more, are they?
Huh?
The Final Fantasy, they're not turn-based anymore, are they?
I mean, no, not really.
No, they're not.
Final Fantasy 7 remake was a good way of meeting in the middle with those two.
It's not even turn-based. Like the last turn-based one was 13, and you saw how people like those games.
I remember that was a big deal with 15. Was that wasn't turn-based?
Yeah, it was action-based. You still had a meter, but that meter it wasn't like fill up your meter like the ATB meter. It was more like, this will let you do an action. It doesn't really matter what your enemy is doing anymore, because you could get 4 actions out before they attack, or they can attack you 4 times. It's like that was their way of making it still turn-based, but really it wasn't turn-based. It was.
Right.
I have to.
Let's do the next one.
All right, next one up is Blue Fire for Nintendo Switch. Embark on an extraordinary journey through the desolate kingdom of Penumbra and discover the hidden secrets of this long-forgotten land. Explore mystical temples, encounter survivors, and take on strange quests to collect valuable items. Along your adventure, slash your way through daunting adversaries, roam across mysterious and abandoned regions, leap through deadly traps, and ultimately master the art of movement.
Yeah, I swear I've seen this somewhere else before.
I've never heard of this.
Me neither.
I swear to God, I have.
Only story I have regarding Blue Fire was when I was a kid. One of my friends, like you know him, Andrew, Josh Hawley. He told me the Blue Fire in Mario 64 healed you, and I believed him, and it killed me.
You're a dip.
Dude,
I had no reason not to believe him.
Yeah, we all did dumb stuff. I had a friend tell me that if you beat the last level of Halo on Legendary without shooting any enemies, you would get the scarab gun in the boss fight. And I tried for 6 hours doing that.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Didn't work.
That's hilarious. That'd be cool though if it did do something like that.
I think there's a skull that in the remastered collection that gives you the scarab gun at any level.
It's any gun does the same effect.
It's kind of ridiculous. All right. The next one is the Neo Collection, coming out exclusively for PlayStation 5. Defy death and unleash your darkness in this expansive collection. Journey through Sengoku-era Japan to face nightmarish foes and legendary warriors in blisteringly fast, hardcore combat. Master the way of the samurai in Neo, then unleash your inner darkness in Neo 2, each expertly remastered and enhanced for PS5. Discover the complete Neo saga with all 6 major expansions included. Battle the yokai threat at a targeted 120 frames per second, asterisk, with ultra fast load times.
The asterisk was just saying when the refresh rate is available on your TV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I want to know, like, do you get this if you already own Neo, or does it,
No.
is it like Spider-Man where you have to get a new game?
New game.
Aw.
I'm getting
it.
These games.
When I get a PS5, I'll probably get it because I've always wanted to play those games and never have.
Like, I literally just picked up both of them for like $15 on Black Friday.
You gotta stop picking up. Jake, you gotta tell me when you pick up games so I know when to get the remaster. All right.
I know.
That's what it is. Yeah, Jake picks up a game, remaster.
I wait too long.
Hey Jake, could you go pick up Pokemon Ruby and Emerald?
I mean, I have been wanting to play Emerald. But the thing is, we already got a remake for those.
Nah, I want a good one.
We're probably listen. If anything's gonna happen, we're either getting Gen 4 or Gen 2 again.
All right, I'm sorry for bringing up Pokemon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
All right, Roger, hit us with our last game.
I hate you. All right. Japanese again.
Kowloon High.
Kowloon High coming out for Nintendo Switch. Kowloon High School Chronicle is a hybrid RPG, adventure, and first-person simulation game originally released in 2004 in Japan. Never before released in North America. Experience this classic title, now remastered in HD on Nintendo Switch. Treasure hunters, adventurers who search for buried treasure scattered around the world. In Shinjuku, Tokyo, a young man appears as a transfer student at Kamiyoshi Academy. While he seems like a normal student, he is actually a treasure hunter. His mission is to discover a mysterious ruin hidden deep beneath the school. Accompanied by his new friends from school, he sets out to discover the mysteries of a super ancient civilization. However, numerous trapped monsters called Kihito that lurk within the ruins and the clutches of the student council stand in his way.
The darn student council.
Yeah, president, girl with glasses. Build your relationship with friends, solve puzzles, dodge traps, defeat enemies, and discover the great mysteries and treasures sealed beneath the school.
All right, that sounds like a game.
You know, it's kind of weird. It seems like Nintendo Switch's big thing is getting U.S. ports of these old Japanese games we never got.
They're obviously doing well. They keep doing it.
Yeah, it must be.
They started with Trials of Mana, and then it just keeps going from there.
Do you guys have any picks of the week? Anything I'd probably say the Neo Collection is my pick of the week.
Yeah, same here. I'm kind of sad.
Straight up, whenever I get a PlayStation, I'm going to pick that up.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I don't know. I didn't hear about it until recently, but I don't know if this has been news for a while. But I saw that Apex is coming to Switch.
Yeah, I thought about putting that in there. I mean, like, oh, great. We're getting a low-res, bad frame rate version of Apex on the go. Whoa.
Yeah. It's neat. It's just something I saw.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that Switch players can play it, I guess. I don't know if there's
are there exclusively Switch players? Like, I don't know if that's like other than unless you're a child.
I was about to say, like, I think anyone that has a Switch and that's a teenager or adult honestly has a console that can play Apex. So, yeah. But maybe there are out there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, like just hardcore Switch gamers, like the Virtual Boy guy.
Yeah, they probably do exist. All right. Well, Jake, Roger, do you guys have anything else to add? Any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or ideas for the end of this podcast?
Other than Apex, that's all I really had. Have a good day, everyone. I love you.
Roger, you got anything else to add?
Yeah. I don't love you. So, no, I'm joking.
There you go. That's what you get on the gaming block. You get both hatred and damn. He slammed he's out. All right. Well, if you liked that episode of the Gaming Block, make sure to give us
Why you reject me?
Make sure to give us a positive rating on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to this show. Make sure to also check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/thatoneandrew, where full recordings of this podcast are posted along with a plethora of other videos. I just made a top 10 Xbox 360 games video. I'm going to be honest, I thought it turned out pretty well. We'll see. We now also have our very own Patreon, so if you would like to support us monetarily, head over to patreon.com/thatoneandrew. Any type of support, even if you just listen to the podcast, is appreciated. Guys, we broke over 1,000 downloads. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah, pretty amazing since we've only been doing this for, we're not even on episode 20 yet, so I think that's pretty darn good. And every week it just keeps going up. Like, we're not staying stagnant, we are growing, so that's really good. So thank you, audience, of course, listeners. Make sure, please, tell more people about
hugs and kisses, XOXO from all of us, mostly Jake.
Big wet slobbery kisses from Jake. Just a fist bump from me and Roger, but Jake, he'll give you all that tongue action.
What can I say?
All right.
He's a hugger.
Yeah, he definitely is. Okay, well, until then, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.